Now, while most people rightly think that most mainstream browsers stopped their Windows 2000 support sometime in the years 2012, 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, or even earlier. It's actually possible to get some very recent more recent browsers to run fine on Windows 2000 and actually browse the modern web. Now, in order to do this, it's not possible to my knowledge to do this on just plain old vanilla Windows 2000. Before you do this, you have to install a piece of software by an MSFN user called KernelEX, which is basically a kernel extension, and which mostly grants more compatibility with XP-only software to Windows 2000, and tricks some applications into thinking you're running Windows XP as opposed to Windows 2000. Now, I have two recent browsers here to look at. We have Pale Moon 26.5 and a browser called Serpent. Now, Serpent is a browser made by web user Roytam, and it's basically a fork of the Basilisk browser that has been reconfigured for Windows XP. And now, as it so happens, it also works on Windows 2000 because of the kernel extension that I mentioned earlier. So, without further ado, let's have a look. Of course, inevitably this is going to be based off. This browser will be probably detected as Firefox 52, since that's the one that finally ended support for Windows XP. So we can expect that your browsing capabilities to be roughly similar to that. No. We can try the ACID2 test, and as you can see, it loads DuckDuckGo just fine. And, hello world, it is standards compliant. Lo and behold, it is standards compliant, to the surprise of no one. Now, there's the information about the Serpent Browser, which is it's a fork of Basilisk, as I said. And this version was released a month ago, as far as I know, making it a rather recent browser. Now let's try going on a site that we know will work, Vogons.org, which is a computer hardware forum. As you can see, Vogons loads and works just fine. Don't think I need any more evidence of the site working than that. Now, with how well does your browser support HTML5? 464 out of 555 points for a browser on Windows 2000, which it actually correctly detects. Now let's see. This is mine was 464, so compare that. That isn't too bad. Although it's kind of outdated, of course, since Firefox 59 isn't the current version of Firefox, at least to my knowledge. Now let's try YouTube. bloated site that nobody likes. The bane of all old machines. Before you continue to YouTube. Yes, yes, we agree. I'm going to need a test video, of course. Oh, YouTube somehow just keeps adding new features that irritate the hell out of me. I'm just going to unmute the volume for a bit because we're going to be testing the audio as well, see if it works for 2 videos. As you can see, it works. Perhaps not the best sample video. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. Actually, never mind, I won't bother with that one. Alright, so YouTube actually works pretty well, to my surprise. So let's try reddit.com. I wonder if I might also get round to trying Pale Moon as well, just to see if there's any difference in how well the browsers work. But I'd imagine this one works better since the Pale Moon version that we have installed is older than the Firefox 52. So yep, as you can see, Reddit works just fine. Usably, might I add. Keep in mind, this is a 22-year-old operating. This is a 21-year-old operating system. Browsing the modern web just fine at this rate. Let's think of some other sites to browse. Not sure if I want to see what Discord will do to this poor old machine, but there's only one way to find out. To my surprise, it actually loads. But I'm not going to log in. And then again, I probably shouldn't be surprised, given this is detected as Firefox 52. As you can see, it's taking a while because it's Discord. It's in a piece of a bloated electron garbage. Now, I'm not going to log in. But it actually does work, interestingly, the browser version of Discord. I actually can use Discord on this without using the browser version, simply because I have a Pigeon extension, a Pigeon plugin, which I can use for Discord if I feel the need to. Although I personally wouldn't. Let's try a rather more simple site. Behold. Wikipedia works just as well as I'd expect it to. Now let's try one last site, which is not demanding. I'll try eBay. And behold, eBay loads. Actually, I'm not going to show any results there simply because I don't want to give away my location. That would be rather sad. So, and also if you tried buying anything or doing banking on Windows 2000 of all operating systems, it's a big no-no. Now, if you want to get an idea for the specs of this machine, it is a GMA 900 graphics chipset, which means that I cannot run Windows 2000 on it. And as you can see, it has a 1.4 GHz Celeron M. It was originally designed for Windows XP, but runs Windows 2000 as well as you would think it would. Since Windows 2000 and Windows XP on the inside are very similar operating systems, most stuff that can run on XP runs just fine on Windows 2000. Let's see if Pale Moon behaves or not. So brand new is a pretty light demonstration of the modern web, but I think it proves a point if even websites like YouTube and Discord and all of their bloated horribleness actually load. And no, I hate the start page, it's so laggy. And behold, Pale Moon 26.5.0, long after support ended. Oh, I like the Pale Moon as a design aesthetic so much. Ah, this is nice. Ah, let's try YouTube. See if it works just as well. Actually, I'll show YouTube, then I'll do the HTML5 test for Pale Moon. And Discord will probably work less good, simply because Discord runs worse on Pale Moon than it does on Firefox. This is not... With the issue of Windows 2000 internet security, to my knowledge you can actually be fairly safe just browsing as is, but there are some precautions that you're going to want to take. Stuff like, say, not clicking on any suspicious links, or not buying anything, or if you can use accounts that you don't mind if they get hacked, basically. And there's also other stuff like making sure that you're using a guest account when you're browsing online instead of an administrator account. Stuff like that. YouTube isn't taking a long time to load. Actually, I'm just going to kill it. It's too long. I'm going to abort this test. Yeah, you can hear my machine struggling with it. I hate YouTube as a site, to be honest. I upload videos to there anyways, because where else am I going to put them? Yep. Trying to run YouTube crashed Pale Moon, so I don't think it compared positively in that respect. Or maybe this is when the viruses start coming. Pale Moon has not compared well to Basilisk so far. Serpent, should I say. Huh, that's weird. I'm using a different version of DuckDuckGo, but let's see how well it... Oh, that's a pretty big L. Damn. That's over 100. Yep, that's over 100. Over 100 points less than Serpent was. That is pretty bad. Actually, I can even let's open them both up just so we can compare. But yeah, that is a pretty big L for old Pale Moon. There is a version of Pale Moon made by Roytam, which is designed for Windows XP and Windows 2, and by extension Windows 2000 support. But I don't think it would fare much differently than ordinary Pale Moon. Let's compare again. Sorry if the lighting's bad. My iPod's really not good at handling light all that well. Yeah, 464 versus 350. Whew. 29 out of 33. Yeah, we've got great stuff over here. Not so good over there. I might get a version of I might try the latest version of Firefox on the HTML5 test just again. But yeah, point being, Basilisk is a better browser than Pale Moon for browsing on Windows 2000. I think that's pretty clear. Yep. Current Firefox scores 494. Serpent on Pale Moon pours 400, only 464. That is absurdly close. Like, that's probably like the difference between Chrome and Firefox on Windows 7. That is, wow. I knew that Serpent was a good browser, but I had no idea that it was. And Pale Moon scores 427. Pale Moon 29.1. Windows 7. So yeah, Serpent on a Basilisk fork on Windows 2000 beats the latest version of Pale Moon on Windows 7. That is unexpected. Quite unexpected, as a matter of fact. So yeah, that's what the browsing, it's sort of like what the browsing experience on Windows 2000 is like. With Basilisk, which is obviously, evidently the best option if you're going to browse on Windows 2000, which is not something that I would recommend you do in any case. I would recommend using Basilisk for that, and of course making sure that you have a kernel extension as well as all of the update rollout. And also, actually wait, sorry to deviate a bit, but I just realized I have this. I have a browser called Slim Browser, which I don't remember why I installed it, but we may as well run an HTML5 test on this. Yeah, this is a Trident-based browser, which means it is garbage. Yep. nada, it does not work. And let's see with this version of Pale Sea Monkey 2.9, which is actually the last official version to support Windows 2000, which I installed before I had the kernel extension. Sorry to divulge a bit, it's just... I just find it interesting. Nope. Nope, it just does not work. It really doesn't want to work, does it? Of course, yeah, it can't work due to no cipher overlap. So yeah, Windows 2000 and whatever slim browser is, are duds, I'd imagine. A lot of browsers designed for Windows 2000, the last final official versions for Windows 2000 are probably duds in this respect as well, simply due to lacking that encryption compatibility. But yeah, that's what browsing on Windows 2000 in 2021 is surprisingly doable if you have kind of the kernel extension, the unofficial Service Pack 5, which I don't have a link to, and I don't have a link to the kernel extension either. You can find it on YouTube pretty easily. But yeah, I would say I'm definitely impressed, because loading YouTube and Discord exceeded my expectations for Windows, even a modified Windows 2000, but yeah. Yeah, and how well Serpent does as well. I mean, I came out of this surprised, needless to say. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day.